Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the north corner of the map, playing in red, we've got beastyqt playing as the Jeanne faction, and his opponent in the south, playing in blue. We've got Divine DFP playing as the English. Welcome everyone to Cliffside. Hope you guys are having a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. English versus the Jeanne faction, interesting matchup. Well, I gotta say, whilst we could talk about the matchup, we also kind of have to talk about the players. We've got beastyqt, of course, one of the very best players in the world. Actually won the most recent tournament. So certainly the reigning champion. But Divine, who we know and love playing English a lot. He plays a very particular play style. And I wonder how Beasty's going to navigate this one, right? Because Cliffside is an interesting map, pretty aggressive at times, right down the middle. There's a potential to put some aggression on, especially with knights on the field. Movement speed could be pretty hefty. The English, on the other hand, especially in the hands of Divine, they often play a very conservative approach, macro approach, get to the castle age with the White Tower, opening with a second town centre, and then even thinking about Imperial Age with massive units after that. Kind of curious to see if that's something that Divine looks to try and do. The thing is that if it does go to the super late game, it's a tricky one, right? Because this could very well go to the super late game, because Cliffside is one of those games where sometimes it feels like it doesn't really have a middle ground, right? Because you've got a situation where very open down the middle, open to a lot of aggression, and games could be over pretty quickly. At the same time, though, if you do get to a stage where the walls are made and the cliff edges are closed, then it can be a very stale-matey game. Wheelbarrow coming in for Divine, as is always the case, actually, for his playstyle, I think. I wonder whether Beasty will play a second town centre because, with the English, it's not always easy to read exactly what they'll do, but it does feel like there's definitely a shift into the meta in terms of getting two town centre into Castle Age. And Divine loves that kind of style, so I wonder if the Jeanne d'Arc faction will match that, go for a second town centre himself, Beasty, potentially. Which would mean that would be a relatively slow start to the game, but as you know with Age of Empires, slow starts makes for quick endings, I guess. Or big endings. Decent number of sheep being dropped off for Beasty. And it's going to be the council hall. Okay. Oh, maybe not. Oh, it is, yeah. Just relocating it. Sometimes you do see the Abbey of Kings, which could be a nice option for the English in many ways, but it's opting for the council hall. So maybe we'll get some initial aggression from Divine. Maybe we're seeing a bit of a switch up. But no switch up, of course, for the School of Cavalry, as we'd expect. Jeanne building on up, and does have that 33% build, extra build power. 33% faster. Working our way up in life. Alright, only building with 2 villages, so this does... Oh yeah, this is going to be a second town centre play, it almost feels like. Well, actually, no, maybe not. It's actually got 3 villages in gold still. That's kind of curious, right? Because second town centre with the English, you can actually look to get villages on stone at the moment. We'll see. Just go for maybe a bit more of a delayed feudal age push. We'll have to see exactly what Divine does. I'd be surprised with that, really, because he really is a guy who gets multiple town centres as the English. There's a School of Cavalry just about to be built. There it is. The council will take significantly longer to get there. Obviously, only 2 villages building that. So I'd be kind of curious to see how he defends this, right? He's going to go for stone now, but he doesn't have a barrack. I mean, he's going to need a barracks, right? He's got 150 wood, so he possibly could afford it. He needs to find a way to defend the villages on stone for sure. Scout being a bit annoying, just saying, "Hey, Beasty." He's just Beasty's saying, "Hey, I'm here. I can see you." The knight riding on in. Can I go straight for that stone vein potentially here? We shall see.
Si comprendo.
Go straight for the stone main, as we'd expect, and villagers do have to back away. But with only one knight, the short bows possibly will just look to try and fight this off, but it's definitely causing a bit of idle time. Oh, snipes the sheep. But one knight there, just going to delay the second town centre, right? It's kind of curious that he's not even put down a barracks yet. I just want to rely on longbows, to be fair, and I think if he can just mass up the numbers, the only problem is Jeanne's getting involved now. Divine Arrow could cause some problems. Should be able to snipe out a village if they get close enough. Gonna go for the longbows first, and does take a significant amount of HP off that longbow. Right, dives on again, gets the charge on in. Divine doesn't have enough stone just yet. He was pretty greedy with this, right? Opening with the wheelbarrow and might snipe out one knight in the end. But this is a lot of idle time being caused. Oh, Jeanne, pretty low on health. Loses the knight. Has killed one villager so far. It's more about the idle time. I'm back behind this. I wonder if Beasty's going to start thinking about getting a second town centre. There it is. It's actually building as we speak. He's certainly going to match like for like. And in fact, it looks like Beasty should be able to get a second town centre a lot quicker than the English. It's not something you expect to see, but he's doing it, and it looks like Beasty wants to play the late game. He's going to be walling on up. That second town centre, by the way, is such a good spot. Take a look at this. On the deer, the boar, gold, berries, wood. That has got to be the best town centre spot I've seen in a very long time. Jeez Louise. That town centre spot. Damn. That's some serious real estate Beasty's got. And Jeanne, she didn't lose her life either. She makes a perilous journey back home after a hard-fought victory. She moves fast, doesn't she? Pretty sure that bow is big as her. Now what's kind of interesting actually, by the way, is that with this game likely to go to the late game now, because that's the way Divine plays and it's the way that Beasty's kind of posturing to play. Oh, scout. Stays alive. You effectively have two passive gold generators for, well, either civ, well, one each really. Got the enclosures tech for the English, the farms, going to be able to get the gold as the farmers work. Very good population efficiency there, but possibly even better population efficiency for the French, or in this case Jeanne, is the guild hall. Just cash in a bit of gold and you're good to go. Yeah, absolutely. Obdiviam. It's a classic French versus English, apart from the Jeanne being added in, of course. And a couple of other changes, I guess, but they're kind of smallish changes. The French town centre obviously works a bit faster. The Jeanne is able to consecrate buildings, whereas the French have to be able to keep around their productions to make it a bit cheaper. But yeah, certainly in essence, certainly that classic matchup. Hope you're doing well, by the way, in Twitch chat. If you guys are watching on YouTube and thinking, what am I talking about? Well, I am streaming live on Twitch these days, so that's, yeah. Sometimes I do love to engage with chat. I think that's one of the big things about live streaming, actually, being able to engage with audiences. Let me know on Twitch, on the YouTube side of things, rather, actually. So I did actually open a YouTube channel for YouTube streams, but it felt a bit arduous setting up a whole new channel for it. Let me know on the YouTube side of things, would you actually like to see YouTube streams? What I might do is I might stream on YouTube, but then like unpublish them after, because I don't really want to keep them up. It kind of messes up with the YouTube algorithm, because a lot of people won't be interested in live streams. So if it kind of, you find that people aren't, if YouTube finds that people aren't clicking on your live stream videos, it might then punish the rest of your videos as a channel as a whole, which obviously I don't want. And I want to keep the consistency, like people come in for casted games, VODs, pre-recorded rather than live content, because then they know that it's going to be high quality games, right? That's one thing I always make sure I do a lot. I only post the quality games, not just any of them. And so it means that when you do click a video on the YouTube side of things, you know it's going to be a good game, because you know they've been vetted really. Dives on in the wood line, gets a villager kill, and we did see some villagers going down south. Going for the ball. Super greedy, but understandable. And BC is kind of, in many ways, is reading the player as well as the matchup, because he knows what Divine is like, right? He knows he can be pretty safe in doing this, and that the English don't actually have any units out. So he's taking full advantage of the free resources on the map. It's almost an interesting matchup, and the way it's being played. It's kind of like saying, like, both civilizations want to do what they want to do the best. Like, Jeanne will want to get the pocket economies. English will want to play at home and base up and and just build up a farming transition nice and early, and that's exactly what's happening. So both players kind of building to their strengths, I guess, in terms of their civilizations. Kind of curious to see how this one will pan out. Now, with the second town set up and running a little bit later for Divine, he is a couple of villages behind, did lose 2 villagers as well. So ultimately he's actually kind of behind on economy. Bear in mind the tech ups for the eco upgrades were a little bit cheaper for Jeanne as well. But he's after garrison size, causing a bit of idle time. Horseman diving on in, possibly will lose one. Of course, the English town centre is absolutely crazy in terms of damage output. But this is all buying time, right, for Beasty. He's keeping Divine at home, delaying as much as possible, gets the free food on the map. And it's going to be the White Tower right in between the 2 town centres. It's something we commonly see Divine doing. So his economy going to be very safe and secure, that's for sure. It's going to be the Guild Hall, Castle Edge coming in for Beasty. No surprises there. Kind of have to go for that landmark in this particular matchup and this map and the way it's being played out, playing the long game. And what will be kind of interesting is to see how many relics both players can get. It feels like, you know, Beasty has got a lot of units on the field, and a couple of cavalry units, more importantly. Just a couple of infantry units for the English makes it difficult for them to secure the relics. Go for that woodline once again. Has to dive on out though, because not too much value being gathered there. Here come the barracks. Maybe some man-at-arms could be popping out soon. Bear in mind the White Tower can double produce. It's actually a really great landmark, not only for a static defense, but look at this. It takes 8 seconds to make a man-at-arms. Does need a barracks if he wants to upgrade them, but you know, it is what it is. Longbow's moving out on the right side. Jeanne getting involved. Could use the Divine Arrow. Does get the Divine Arrow off. Picks off a longbow, but goes into the range of the network of castles. So we'll have the attack speed. I think it should be a good trade off here for Divine. Beast needs to be careful not to lose. You know, he did actually take another Divine Arrow shot. And Beast backs away with Jeanne. Couple of horsemen down the south, and relic position wise, like this is actually kind of precarious for Divine. He's only got 1 in the south. I agree with you there, Daybreaker. The others are kind of a little bit easier for Beasty's access. And there it is. It's moving on the sacred site. Oh no, that was actually Jeanne. It's actually something I like to see happen a lot for Jeanne, is just get the sacred sites. Might as well. No reason not to. And there's the monastery. Speaking of which, the monastery is already up for Divine. Yeah, it's going to pick... Interesting, he's going for the relic at home first. It's going for his very like secure, methodical play, right? Doesn't want to take any chances. Doesn't want to risk going for the other relics. I guess he doesn't feel confident moving out. Understandably so. Because he's got knights running around. Veteran royal knights at that. Now looking to get a blacksmith. Knights might dive in on that, actually. Diving in on the gold. There he goes. Snipes up at least... Oh, this could be devastating. Well, he's going to get at least 3 villages out of this, I would have thought. Oh, maybe just 2. Dives in on the White Tower. And the town centre. Managed to get out of that. Look at that 10 HP on that guy. I wonder if Beasty actually has chivalry. He doesn't yet. They're looking to get it now, though. There's the first scholar. Or monk, I should say. Second monk. Oh, wait. Oh, he's already picked... Wait. That's kind of surprising. I managed to get 2 of them out really quickly. Oh, right, he's got 2 monasteries. I was about to say, yeah, I thought he would have had 2 monasteries. Got 1 relic picked up already. Taking engagement down the middle. Mostly just taking out the scout. Looking to decap the sacred site. Knights diving in back again on the gold vein. But this time won't really escape with too much value. Loses all 3 knights. That was a bit rough there in the end. Second dive on in. Decapping the sacred site. But behind this, Beasty is moving out with his monks. Looking to get the one on the east side. Looking to get an outpost in the front position. Mostly going to give that network of castles bonus as well as vision as well, actually. Looking to get the sacred site on the east side, but might draw the attention from the English. Oh, deletes the walls, but doesn't quite get the relic out of there. 1 relic apiece. Oh, looks like Divine might get a second relic out of this, actually. Yeah, a bit of a smash and grab. It looks like it might be 2 relics for him then in the end. I don't think Beasty can contest that. Yeah, gets it in the end. Although, as I say that, Jeanne's... Actually, I thought it was Jeanne Riders for a second, but no, they're just veteran horsemen. Diving in. Gets the palisades up again. Buys a bit of time, Beasty, so the army units don't just flood on in. A lot of consecrated buildings. You can see it makes a big difference. 105 food, 100 gold for a knight. versus the 140. Palisades on the west side. Divine looking to wall up pretty significantly, building a good force in the middle. Mostly crossbows though. So I wonder if Beasty will look to get some siege, or maybe just horsemen. Maybe just artillery of his own, to be fair. Oh, villagers chomping at the bit. These walls. Look at that. Nice hero villager, saving all the other villagers. The other villagers busy eating away. Oh. He managed to garrison in the end there. Thankfully for Divine. Causing a bit of idle time on the wood line, but yeah, not getting too much value. Speaking of which, Divine looking to get some value in the middle. Dropping down the campfire, poking and prodding with spearmen and crossbows. I think Divine might be possibly overextending a little bit. We have to see what Beasty has in response to this. Like, he's got a large army here, right? And yeah, maybe he is overextending. He could potentially lose this army. We'll take a closer look. Horseman diving on in. Spearman numbers not all that looking good. In fact, Beasty he's gonna poke and prod, not really dive in on doesn't want to take a fight just yet. But the constant harassment does cause a bit of idle time. It all adds up. Oh, village and gold. Have to back away once again. This is kind of precarious, right? Divine doesn't really have a solid gold income. And he will want that to get to the castle age, or the imperial age rather. Once it does that, enclosures will be a thing, but he's struggling on that front just now. Beasty. His economy's been unharmed for a very long time. And it should put him in a good spot. Got the two sacred sites, got 2 relics. One more relic still in play, but of course well in the realms of the Jeanne d'Arc base, so I'm sure she will get it. I'm sure Beasty will snap that up soon. Putting some pressure here. Divine but doesn't have any siege, right, to do some critical damage, so we're going to get a flank around. This could be good for Beasty. Coming through the stealth forest, but I think Divine spots that, and yeah, going to charge on in. But this is a good dive in. I think he takes it out, but a lot of villagers on gold on the west side being poked and prodded by the horsemen. Spearmen engaging and should deal with that. I tell you what, Divine might not be able to deal with this. Has got crossbows being going to be absolutely annihilated by the horsemen. Has to back away. Go to the network of castles bonus though, which would be certainly helpful. Does he have network of citadels actually? No, not yet. Spearman numbers to get taken down. Jeanne getting valuable XP. Diving in with the cavalry. There's Divine Restoration. Going to heal up the units, at least for now. Just take a better trade. Trying to get on top of those crossbows, but the crossbows do retreat back to the keep. The White Tower and the town centre. Beasty diving on in. He feels quite confident doing so. I'm not so sure about it though, because he's up against a lot of arrows coming in from the English defence. It does back away in the end. And Beasty, I think if he wants to continue the push, he's going to need some siege. Spearmen in play in position on the gold vein just to protect them. Abdiham says Divine with the classic turtle play. Yeah, it reminds. Yeah. It's definitely I won't say unique playstyle, but it is a very specific playstyle, which can be very annoying to deal with. We'll have to see if Beasty can find a way to deal with it today. Maybe, I mean, to be fair, he's going to be matching fire with fire in a way. He's boomed up his own economy as well. Beasty starting to build up a large force down the middle, getting chivalry, getting some good blacksmith upgrades, getting gambesons as well, which would be really helpful for the artillery, increasing the melee armor by +5. Makes them a lot more difficult to deal with. Looks like Divine, he's starting to pump out units, not too comfortable heading to the Imperial Age just yet. Gold isn't in abundance for Beasty. Take a look at that. 1,300, 400 gold per minute, by the way. Looking pretty intense. Right, just sending the army down the west side and possibly looking to poke and prod. I would like to say, by the way, just at this moment, but before I forget, I would like to say a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel. Whether it be Twitch or YouTube, you guys are absolute legends. Thank you. Beasty about to break through on the Palisades on the west side. Diving on the gold vein. Gold is actually kind of an issue, right, for Divine. Might need to extend his economy down on the east side. Because that gold vein looks like that's what Beasty's targeting. 2 mangonels that could come in handy. Wallow, mostly for distraction, of course. The classic Beasty signature move. It's going to be the Red Palace right in the, I would say right in the middle, but no, relatively further forward in the middle of the map. Beasty not taking any chances, backing away for now. I love this play, by the way. This is really smart. Like, it just is so good of the map awareness, right? This is why these players are at the top of the game. Putting pressure on the gold spots, that's really the key resource for, well, both players at this stage of the game. So put a bit of harassment here, make sure to keep the horseman on the right side in case there is an extension. By the way, he did build a mining camp as well, so there was possibly a movement there for Divine. Though he takes care of that pretty quickly with those spearmen. And Divine, speaking of movement, is heading down to the middle. There's a good amount of siege, 2 mangonels and a spring order. I wonder if BC's got any counter siege at all. Palace just about to go up, which is going to come at the right time, really. Ablatria, need to back away. Yeah, she might have taken a big hit there. West side, cavalry though, pushing on through. Always putting pressure on that gold vein. Speaking of pressure though, Divine putting some pressure down the middle. It's going to run into the Red Palace, so probably not going to be able to make it too further forward. Getting some outposts. The horsemen are in. Gold income cut off once again for Divine. So yeah, this is a problem, right? Because Beasty is actually in the Imperial Age. Divine's gold income has been harassed so much in the game. Never really been able to get a significant amount of gold. I have to go for the gold in the middle because of it. I wonder how much. Yeah, I mean, I think keeps are going to be quite significant in this stage of the game, and Beasty agrees. Is getting pretty decent amount of stone. 850, so should be able to afford another keep relatively soon. Divine, though, with a good military lead, might start to put some pressure on. It feels like he kind of has to, right? Because he's a tech behind. Having said that, though, these veteran horsemen about to come elite soon. Give it 10 seconds. Veteran Royal Knights, as well as the horsemen just running around the back. Always being a bit of a thorn in the backside of Divine's base. Something difficult for him to catch up and deal with, right? Because he's trying to mount a response down the middle. He's constantly being pressured by these cavalry units, and if he doesn't keep an eye on them, like, he's going to lose some infrastructure. We'll lose on relic holder, two of them. Spearman just diving in. Mostly just giving the vision, is that right? I think it looks like it. Yeah. No, he's got vision from the outpost anyway. Starting to make work on the Red Palace, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some siege coming out for Beasty soon. Yeah, it's getting roller shutter triggers, so certainly gearing up towards it. Got the Elite Arbaletier upgrade, and I wonder whether... I mean, I think the stage, right, you can opt for Wingard Palace, possibly Berkshire Palace. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Berkshire. Considering the map and the where it is, like a Berkshire here could be a really nice spot, and the gold. I think he has to secure gold, right? And I think, like a Berkshire here, maybe here, I think this would be a good spot. Protect this gold vein and this one partially. I think gold's going to become pretty good. Oh, we'll take a look at that. Massive snipe on the trebuchets around the back. Great movement there by Beasty. Coming in from the south, and Jeanne leading the lines. Trebuchets though continue to offload their boulders and whatnot. Red Palace is actually pretty weakened. Got to be careful, Beasty, not to lose up. Another bit of raid on the wood line. Once again. This time it is Elite Horsemen, so they're doing well at doing this, that's for sure. Has the third ranged armor upgrade as well. So it makes them super tanky, but it is still White Tower and 2 town centers running underneath. Jeanne survives for now. She needs to get out of there, though. It will be the Berkshire Palace. Where is it going up? Yep, down in this spot here. Down more in the central area, really. Acting as a good staging ground to attack from. I don't hate it. It's actually going to range quite a lot. Will it even range the Red Palace? It might possibly. Their range on this thing is actually kind of crazy. I wonder, yeah, farming transition certainly going to be needed for Jeanne. It's already well underway. Guildhall. This amount of gold in. And look at the food and gold banked up for Beasty. That's a hefty amount of savings. The Red Palace has gone down, by the way. That's pretty significant. Trying to repair on up. Villager might go down to the Berkshire. Look at the range on that. Oh, holy smokes. 14.5 tower range. Compare that to the Palace, which I can't check right now. Jeanne going to the woodline once again. Could use the Divine Arrow. Oh, Berkshire Palace might sniper though. She's got to be careful. Oh god, she's getting absolutely sniped. Down she goes. Alright, well, let's take a look what Beasty's up to. Oh, Springald, okay, sent to his death. That's unusual. Mostly Arbaletier, and he has been adding in some horsemen for quite some time. That's unfortunate. The Berkshire is just constantly ranging the red palaces. That's kind of it must be annoying for Beasty. Kind of forced into it as well now because he has to address this, right? The red palace only has a range of, well, I can't see yet. He hasn't been able to repair it fully because he keeps sustaining damage. Yeah, it's just a bit of a sunk cost, right? Every time he repairs it, he loses from the Berkshire Palace, so... Going around the back there with horsemen. Beasty possibly coming with a big raid. Taking out a handful of villagers. He's going to try and torch down the town side. I'm not so sure about that. Not underneath the White Tower. Doesn't feel optimal. 2 trebuchets, 2 mangonels and a Springald. Red Palace going to go down. Well, it already is down, but the repairs are going to be undone. Looking to snap out the markets. Now you can see enclosures is actually in here for Divine. Give him that extra bit of gold income passively. Very nice to see. Spearman though, about to get in position. Could do a significant amount of damage. Horseman riding on away. On the east side, stonewalling Divine. Wants to see the game super late. Now the great thing is that like this matchup could turn a totally different way if he didn't go for the Guild Hall Beasty, but thankfully he did. Because we could start to see the game edge to a scenario where gold becomes an issue. Well, not to say issue, to be fair, both civilizations do have some passive gold generation. Good raid with the horseman. Pushes the villagers away from stone as well. Come around the back. This could be a massive sniper siege if Divine doesn't get in position. Looks like he might just. Berkshire Palace working pretty well. Should snipe out. Man, no, I don't think he gets anything. He might get a Springald, maybe just if he's lucky. Yeah, he does get a Springald in the end, but loses a lot of cavalry for that. Great hold. Great blocking. That's the great Berkshire Palace.
What wouldst thou havest me do?
The question is, what does Divine opt to achieve here? Does he look to go for a wonder victory? Because it doesn't feel like he's being able to push in too heavily, and he's being very passive about it. Like, I'm not so sure why Divine's not pushing in right now. There's quite a chance that he's just trying to build up bank of resources before he does so, that he can use up the army and then replace it really quickly. Maybe he just doesn't feel like he needs to go in to do any damage. Oh, villagers being sacrificed quite heavily there. Mangonel's going around the back. I mean, the Mangonel should be getting some shots off, but ultimately he's going up against Royal Cannons. He takes that one Royal Cannon with the Springald, and he's going to... Okay, I think the Arbaletier are doing a decent amount of job here at the back, but Spearman numbers looking pretty decent. Mangonels need to get involved. This is one Mangonel. Should be another good shot. Okay, decent shot. Divine Restoration heals on up a lot of those units. Good pushing in from Divine though. Starting to get a better momentum. His Mangonels have all gone though. He needs to move up the siege a little bit too. Defender's advantage certainly will be helping Beasty, but it's finding it difficult to push us back with the Berkshire in play. Arbaletier numbers pretty down. 20 military versus 49. Now it's not over yet. The bank of resources for Beasty looking really hefty, but Divine's starting to make some inroads. Needs to take out the structures if he can. Jeanne at this point should be making a comeback. Is she dead? Is she back yet? She's not back yet. Oh, there she is. Now the crazy thing is this unit, as she does scale up, Siege certainly should be fearful of her. She can snap him pretty well. That's a bit dicey. This is an elite horseman. I mean, he's going to get some value. Eventually, the villagers will take him down, but it's going to take some time. Arm time being caused heavily. Going for the gold, and Beasty's done such a great job of targeting gold positions. Speaking of which, he's making for a move for the gold on the west side with the keep as well to protect it. Understandably so, this gold pretty ripe for the taking. Slowly but surely, Divine's actually getting some momentum down the middle. Beasty's got to be careful. Like, he's banking up some army. He's taking one decisive fight. It could be the time now with the Red Palace. Does give them another additional Arbalest emplacement, which certainly helps. There's no Mangonel though. Jeanne might get poked and prodded, fighting in this choke point. Horsemen diving on the south. They can take out the siege. I was looking to dive on the trebuchets, but yeah, crossbow numbers getting involved, and I don't think he'll be able to block it out fully. This could be a good surround, actually. Beasty coming with defender's advantage. Takes out all the siege. In a blink of an eye, the horseman used to such great effect. Going to get wrapped around on the crossbowman, and I think Divine's in trouble. At least with the army. He's in trouble here on the gold vein as well. It should be... Oh, that spearman coming in clutch, though, for Divine. Should be able to hold this on, but he's got a couple of hand cannoneers now, Jeanne. With Jeanne now up to level 4. Divine Restoration healing on up. And he should be able to hold here, Beasty. Can't push on too much here, Beasty. But Berkshire Palace is still up and running. Question is, how does he deal with that? It's possibly going to need to get some royal cannons, but it's finding it difficult to mass them up. Down to 25 military. Beasty's only on the back ropes, but we know what Beasty's like, right? Sometimes he can hold on for a very long time. Jeanne, she's making a move on the west side. Alright, looks like Beasty, he wants to secure the gold vein on the west side. He wants to deny it as well. Oh, stone walls. Doesn't quite manage it. Keeps there, doing great work for Beasty. The thing is, as he moves on the west side, it leaves them a little bit exposed down the middle. Might need to school the cavalry. Possibly feels confident about his ability to defend. Does have plenty of stone, but is he banking up stone for a wonder? Quite possibly. Cavalry charging on in. Stone walls are never fully completed, and yeah, those. Oh, this could be a massive wraparound. We've seen a couple of skirmishes already, but this is probably the biggest we've seen so far in this gold vein. Is likely to lose a lot of villages. Not reacting to fine. He's going to lose a lot of villages on gold, and oh god, this is a massacre. An absolute massacre. He's going to lose everything. He's pushing down the middle. That's possibly where he got distracted. Takes out the school of cavalry, but look at this. Reinforcements coming in for Beasty. Great play. Snaps out a lot of villagers. He's killed 66 in total. Raining around the back as well. Is he going to try and get a keep with one villager? That's kind of crazy. Where are the villagers coming in from? Nowhere, it seems. Is on the gold. Oh god. Okay, short bows slowly working their way through these villagers. Horsemen diving on in around the back. Again, looking to snipe out siege. Hand cannoneers, so they're fighting underneath the Berkshire Palace, so Divine won't be too displeased about this. Mangonel deploys, but he's still got a great number of horsemen. I think, actually, overall, Beasty, even fighting underneath the Berkshire Palace, is kind of happy to do so. He's got the royal cannons, 2 of them, about to take out the Berkshire. This could be a huge movement in the game. If he takes out the Berkshire, that could be a massive staging ground to mount a response through the middle. He does have 2 royal cannons on it. Down she goes. That means the Berkshire Palace is no more, at least for now. Divine, he's struggling to hold this position, despite having the military advantage, 55 units. The big job that he's done here to Beasty, though, he needs to keep on pumping. He's lacking on food. That's the concern. I think he just keeps mining this out. I was going to get keep eventually. He spotted it. The big deal is that he took out the Berkshire Palace. He did lose the majority of his army. He's down to 7-8 military. He's got plenty of wood and gold. He's got no food in the bank. He's finding it difficult. The food income not looking great at all. Although despite having 1,600 coming in per minute, he's struggling to keep it up. Jeanne shooting from across over this. Is there anything she can't do? She shoots through stone walls apparently. Keep us up. Divine's villagers are going down now. But he's raiding pretty heavily. We'll snap out a couple of springles it seems. Mangonel deploys. Comes out at a perfect time actually. Might get a shot off. Does get a shot off. Kind of didn't get really where he wanted it though. Unfortunate for him. A lot of the economy going to be idled. 36 idled economy for Beasty, but the trouble is Divine's population not looking great. Having lost so many villagers on that gold vein earlier has really hurt him. Only got 2 villages in gold in total, and he's camping. Beasty has to find a way back into this. He's got to get siege out, and that's all he can afford really. He's got wood and gold, right? That's all he can afford. Massive mangonel shot on the crossbows. Village coming out to repair. That mangonel possibly could be the big staging ground to defend with. It's got to be. Repair the mangonel. It just goes down though. Got good value in the end. Down in the south. Jeanne going down the south and just killing villagers left, right and centre. She's such a pain to deal with. Got the keep on the right side. Keep on the west side. So the gold veins are very well secured here for Beasty. But obviously passive gold generation for Divine looking good. Having said that though, the guild hall might be on gold. We'll check on that in just a moment. Loses a mangonel. But here come the elite royal knights. They're going to trade well even against... I mean, to be fair, if he gets up to the crossbows that is. And he's got good numbers, he'll be okay. But... So you won't want to commit to that too much because the crossbows are the counter unit. Jeanne still riding around on the back, getting villager kills left, right and centre. It's got to be annoying for Divine. He's lost 96 villagers so far. Siege Workshop has been consecrated, both of them in fact, so siege work engines should be significantly cheaper for them. All things considered. Just taking out the farms, which is a pain, right? Because wood is an issue. So Divine, like if he loses farms, you can't really reseed them easily. He's on our last limbs though. Backs away for now. 35 HP, forcing the English to chase. Berkshire Palace is up it again. It's absolutely phenomenal. He must have rushed building that. Crazy. All that hard work kind of undone by the Berkshire Palace being repaired again. Oh, Jeanne. She might go down this time. We'll see. No, keeps him alive. And what does Beasty do? Like, he's not making any more farms, so it feels like he's almost opting for siege. He's getting court architects as well, just to increase the health of all the buildings that he does have. Divine, though, possibly feels optimistic about his chances in the game. He's back in gold on the west side. Jeanne, she's still riding around and she's been healing on up. It's difficult for Divine to deal with that because of his heavy infantry based army. It's not like he can have cavalry to chase it around. Gold has expired, but he's been having 2 sacred sites for quite some time. 3 relics Beasty. Might lose the siege workshop, which is not ideal. Jeanne round the back. Very low in health again. Oh, trying to wall them in. Nope. Get some. Oh, it's actually a decent try. Just about squeezed through. Villagers trying to shoot. Just trying to take it down as much as possible. Proving difficult though. The trouble is for Divine, he's not got any trebuchets, right? He's lost them at critical moments and he can't afford it. Doesn't have the gold income. That's the critical issue, right? Beasty with the clutch plays with the keeps on the sides. He mopped up all the gold, and look how much gold he's got in the bank. 5,000 gold. Only 200 odd for Divine. And I wonder if he's cashed in the guild hall. Let's take a look at that now, actually. Where is the guild hall? Holy moly. It was here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, it's been on gold. Oh my god. Look at that gold income. He's got 5,000 in the bank. 7,500 ready to cash in at any point. Divine slowly moving forward, extending the network of castles bonus, but he needs siege and he can't afford anything. Heavy army presence, but doesn't have the economy to back it up, and I fear for his position now. Like, it looks good on the map, but if his army gets taken out, he can't replace it. The same cannot be said for Beasty. He can replace his army quick time with siege. Mangonel's about to deploy. Could see some big shots here. Springalds going to be taking a fight against each other. Good number of veteran elite archers there for the Jeanne d'Arc faction. Mangonels deploy once again. Spearman trying to chase down the Mangonels. Doesn't get close enough. Doesn't even manage to get one of them. Losing a couple of Springals there, Beasty. Bit uncharacteristic. Jeanne remains alive for now. Got another 2 gold veins to be able to take hold of as well, Beasty. And even another stone vein. He's definitely been able to mop up a lot of resources on the map. As we head into almost the 40th minute of the game. What a cracking game of Age of Empires. Elite archers and siege. Going to pose a problem for Divine to deal with, I think. Doesn't have the siege of his own. He needs that siege. Now this could actually turn to a bit of a wood game, gotta say. How much wood does Divine have? He's got a decent patch here down the south, actually, to be fair. But so does Beasty in the north. Although, actually, to be fair, Beasty's taken most of his. That's kind of a little bit tricky, gotta say. Daybreaker, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, my dude, the gifted sub. Thank you, very kind of you. Appreciate it. Oh, and another. Holy smokes, thank you so much. Thank you. Mangonels are creeping a bit further forward. It does have a Springald, so you need to be careful, Beasty, not to lose those Mangonels for free. By the way, speaking of which, we have some really good emotes now. Because we had a lot of gifted subs a while back, and it opened up a lot of slots for us. So thanks a lot for that, Daybreaker, again. Got some really cool emotes. You can check them out. Bit of a stalemate position though, I've got to say. Beasty's bank of resources is looking crazy. I almost feel like it's going to be a wonder, right? Because, I mean, to be fair though, he doesn't necessarily need a wonder, could just brute force his way in, right? If he just takes some fights, forces the fights, Beasty can replace his army, and Divine can't. That's the long short of it, but he does have to work his way through the Berkshire Palace. It's been a problem before, could potentially be a problem again, we'll have to see. Berkshire Palace focusing on the Royal Cannon, is making a move forward here. Divine wants to take the fight. Mangonel's deploy, Spearman brace, but he takes a massive shot. Holy smokes. Those crossbows got decimated by the Mangonels, maybe even again. Spearman, this time, bear the brunt of the fight. And Jeanne's moving on forward, trying to snap everything in her way. Royal Cannon's getting involved now in the Berkshire Palace. Mangonel deploys once again, taking out valuable HP. Archers are holding round. I mean, there's not that much of a front line, I've got to say, there for Jeanne. Does use the Divine Restoration. Because of the lack of front line, the archers get decimated pretty quickly. They're going to try and rebuild that Red Palace. Isn't quite manage it. Loses some of the cannons, but Jeanne, she lives to fight another day and tell the tale. But down to one military Beasty. Oh god, that's a massive pushback for Divine. Like, Divine needs to see the game out though. He needs to finish this now because Beasty's economy is so good that he can replace the army like 2-3 times. And it's going to take moments like this. He can't let Beasty build up a force again. But look at the production he's got. Look at the number of stables, look at all of this. A lot of the units are made a lot cheaper because of consecration. So in a blink of an eye, his military went from 0 to 40. And he's holding in front of this keep. He's got cannons as well. And man-at-arms is a really strong unit for Divine though. Be really great as meat shield, but he's going up against elite Royal Knights. He's finding it difficult to break through. Fighting underneath the keep is not ideal for the English, but he's got to make a way through. Doesn't have enough in terms of... Well, he doesn't have any bombards. He needs siege. That's the one thing he's lacking in this push. He's been lacking wood for a long time, and he's just not been able to get the siege out. He's got springalds, but the concern is Jeanne, right? Even if he does get siege, Jeanne probably almost just snipes them. The keep is pretty much... Well, it is full health. Divine really struggling to push on through. He's got a decent number of cannons, by the way, Jeanne. So if this this force doesn't survive for Divine, it could be pushed back and the Berkshire Palace might go down. Not for the first time. Tried desperately to replace and repair that Red Palace, but won't quite manage it. The villagers get sniped. The Beasty, the military production is looking decent. Coming in with the cavalry to counteract the crossbows. He still has 2 Royal Cannons. They might start to work on the Berkshire Palace actually. We'll see if it's enough. And the other side of the map, it's pretty stale on the other side. Everything's very much down the middle. Understandably so. He's got springles, he's got trebuchet, but trebuchet might go down to Jeanne if she gets close enough. Cannons focusing on the Berkshire Palace. Man-at-arms holding that front line for the English, but going up against mostly horsemen. Divine Restoration comes out for Jeanne. No mangonels now for Jeanne, but the Berkshire Palace dangerously on her health. Down she goes. And that's going to offer a lot of relief for these units. They're fighting underneath the Berkshire Palace, getting absolutely smashed, and now with the Berkshire Palace gone, gives them a bit more of a fighting chance, but he's starting to swing a little bit again for Divine's favour. Fighting on the hill. Crossbows doing great work, but he's up against horsemen and archers, which is not ideal for these crossbows. Beasty's holding on. I think the man-at-arms is what's really working though for the English. He needs to get more of those if he can. Trouble for the English, he doesn't have the gold he wants, and it looks like Beasty, he's cashed in the gold. 1,300 gold in the bank. Beasty, I mean, the weird thing is, by the way, despite the bank of resources, it doesn't guarantee you winning the game. If he keeps getting pushed like this, if Divine can get some siege, if he can take out the keep, the Red Palace, and the infrastructure once again, he can push on in, but the Red Palace is going to buy him some time for sure, Beasty. Down to 25 military. And the thing is kind of interesting in this map, you can't go for the flanks, because if Divine moves in for the flanks, then Beasty just moves down the middle, and vice versa. Alright, looks like it's mass play into siege again. Mangonel Springalds. I gotta say, it feels like Siege is the play for Beasty because of the fact that, well, if Divine tries to match it, Jeanne can get involved and she can snub out Siege in a big way. I think that's the answer, actually. I think Siege is the play for Beasty. I mean, to be fair, you can't usually go wrong with Siege, but in this particular case use, I think Siege is what wins the game for Beasty if he wants to do it. Because as we say, if Divine tries to get counteractive Siege, whether it be Springalds or, you know, Bombards, Jeanne can always be micro to take them out. That's 4 mangonels now. It's a heavily infantry-based army as well for Divine. Sure, Man at Arms will tank it a little bit, but the Spearman Arbaletier or Spearman Crossbowman won't. Getting the extra vision. There's a Trebuchet working hard on that. Berkshire Palace being repaired once again. Only 4 villagers though, so it will take some time. So Beasty's got a bit of time to deal with this. Springalds, wait, where are the Springalds going? A little bit too far forward for comfort. He was trying to snap out the siege, the Trebuchets, of which there are 2 now for the English. Jeanne might just do it herself. Mangonel deploys. Oh, gets a massive shot off there. And there's just so many mangonels. The Man-at-Arms going to try and dive on it. Divine Restoration comes on out. I think there's a push from Divine, but I'm not so sure it's going to be enough. I mean, he's taken out most of the front line, to be fair. Mangonels coming from the back. That's a lot of mangonels now for Beasty. Fighting underneath the Red Palace. Spearmen chopping. And, yeah, I mean, they're taking out a lot of the siege. Holy smokes, in a blink of an eye, Beasty has to back away. But look how much gold and wood he's still got. He will be able to replace this. It's got, even got a Rebaldaquin. That's a lot of mangonels, guys. Jeez Louise. It's almost full siege at this point. 42 population in siege. Only 3 in terms of actual non-siege military. Got a second Rebaldaquin as well. It's going to be difficult for Divine to push in brute force wise, but it does have 3 trebuchets working on the case. Where is Jeanne? Is Jeanne hiding? Mangonels deployed once again. Oh, it might be diving on here. I don't think this is going to work for Divine. There's a Rebaldaquin, 3 of them, and mangonels. Could be absolutely decimated, these units, and he's going to get something maybe out of this, but oh god, meat grinder underneath the Red Palace. The Rebaldaquin gets so much damage output. Man-at-Arms even get shredded to pieces. Yikes. Looks like Jeanne died and went to respawn. Yep, Obdiem not being summoned in. Not being... to be fair, it's 1,000 gold. Probably not worth it at this stage. I just wonder whether we'll see a wonder. He's got the resources for it. Beasty. As you know, he hasn't got the gold actually, to be fair. Wait. That's because he just made one. There it is. We're doing it. It's going for the Notre Dame. Going for the wonder. The game has been a stalemate for quite some time, and that's a lot of siege. Jeez Louise. I mean, this is going to be fun to watch, that's for sure. I can tell you that much. It's going to be hard to break through all those mangonels. Oh, great trebuchet shots, though. Jeez, you guys see that? Took out a lot of mangonels with that. That's a lot of Rebaldaquin. It's got to be careful not to lose too much of the siege there, Beasty. He's losing it to the trebuchets. Making a move forward now. But Divine will get a notification. And there's no real way for him to challenge that apart from trying to take it down. Like Sacred Site, sometimes you can make an argument for. It's really difficult. If the Sacred Site's on the flank, it doesn't feel like he's going to be managing it. 3 Royal Cannons. Should take down the Berkshire Palace pretty quickly. It's being repaired. Rebaldaquin. Oh, he's diving on in. Oh, Divine going to get absolutely butchered. They're running down the hill. But they're running into a barrage of siege. Rebaldaquin, mangonels. Oh god, that's a decimation. They can't even get a couple of hits in before they get absolutely decimated, even underneath the Red Palace. He's going to try to take out the siege, the cannons, but the Berkshire Palace falls anyway. There it is. Beasty's Wonder is up and running. Divine is on a timer. 15 minutes on that timer. Jeanne has returned to the battlefield, and it's going to be siege and Jeanne. Uh-oh. Rebaldaquin. They're going to do so much damage to these infantry units, they can't clear them on out. Oh my god, they get absolutely mowed down. Mangonels on the bottom of the hill as well. He's losing a couple of siege engines, but they're getting so much value. Berkshire Palace not up and running just yet. Royal Cannon working on it. I don't think he's going to get this repaired. I think it just goes down. Mangonels deploying on it as well. Robolkin still in good numbers. Jeanne diving on in. Jeanne's been taking out siege. You can see the numbers. 2 trebuchets, 3 springles remain. The Berkshire Palace is down once again. This time it's Beasty's turn to wall up in the middle. Some activity down on the left side. It's just going for the wood. And Beasty is getting a keep on this wood line as well. I think really Divine's struggling in wood, right? You can see it happening. Yeah, he's got nothing in the bank. To be fair, Beasty's not got a lot of wood of his own. You can definitely say that much. Royal Cannon being repaired, and yeah, this is the trouble. The Berkshire Palace never really going to be going up. And yeah, Divine's just sinking in resources into that. 2 trebuchets working on the stone walls. And Divine's actually going to lose a lot of villages. I'm not sure if he's spotting this. Like at this stage of the game with so many notifications going off left, right and centre, it's difficult for him to keep track. Sprinkle numbers looking decent though for the English. I've got to say, looking a lot better though for Beasty. Look at the siege numbers. He's got 60 population in siege. Got a couple of horsemen added in as well. He's diving on in, but that's a massive choke point. I mean, it was always a bit of a choke point already without the walls. It's an even bigger choke point. 12 minutes or so on the clock. Yeah, it's just about buying time for Beasty. It feels difficult for Divine. He's going to need a big push. He does have a good amount of food in the bank. Obviously nowhere near as much as Beasty. But the gold's looking decent. It's a constant trickle. That's the big difference for the English with the enclosures, as opposed to Jeanne with the guild hall. Has to cash them in, has to wait for a bit. Be patient about it. But yeah, Beasty, no real emphasis or need to really move out. Taking out what remains of the wood on the west side, which is not much. Could see engagement here. Getting palisade walls this time. Struggling on stone, of course. Beasty just trying to keep out the English as much as possible. Mostly man-at-arms, crossbows for the English. Manganos deploy once again. Gets a massive shot for free. Palisades won't hold for long. All those villagers certainly making them work for it, the English. Mangonels. Massive shot on the infantry. And he just can't break through. It feels difficult now for the English. Now that Beasty's got this amount of siege, he does have a couple of springolds, but he needs to take out the siege as quickly as possible. But it's tough when it's this number. Jeanne might get involved as well. If Jeanne can get on top of the springolds, it could be tricky for the push in, although having said that, the horsemen, they're not holding up to it. The man-at-arms charging on in. He's only fighting with half of them. Half of them are still on top of the hill, watching their brethren die. He's trying to stop out springles, I guess. But they got decimated. A second wave comes on in, but as the second wave comes on in, you can say the same for Beasty. Mangonels, massive shot, but didn't quite land as much as they would have wanted to. Horsemen diving on in. 3 trebuchets continue to try and break down those walls, but it's proving tricky. Mangonels again on that hill. So many have died on that hill. Mangonels itching a bit further forward. He's going to lose a couple though. Springolds engaging, takes out another 2 Mangonels. I think Beasty might have killed villagers actually. He might have deleted some. He's down to 75 population in terms of villagers. He's diving on in. Gets around on the man-at-arms, diving in on top of the siege. Looks like the horseman going for it. Jeanne right at the back is going to take out all the trebuchets in the siege. I think this is looking dicey now for Divine. These are expensive units. The trebuchets, they're going down mostly. Loses another and another. And he can't make any headway, Divine. The Mangonel numbers looking just way too good. I think he might even need another trebuchet. He does. He loses all the siege from the snipes from the horsemen. Beasty, look at that. He's really starting to climb up that military number. He's pushing on in down the middle now. Only 3 springles remain, and that's probably not going to stay that way for long, with horsemen diving on in. Man-at-arms though tanking. There we go, losing them. Only 1 springald remains, and Jeanne might just ride on in. Looks like she's doing just that. Robodoquim holding off the man-at-arms. Plenty of mangonels. Peppering those rocks on top of the hill. Jeanne moving down. Takes out a siege engine. It's going to take out villagers as well. I think at this point maybe we just follow the journey of Jeanne. Going around the back. Down in the front. Not too much that Divine can do. He's finding it really difficult to push in, and despite being able to invest in a wonder, Beasty is still even just winning the game in the normal way, it seems. Moving down the middle. The big thing is Jeanne is attracting a lot of the English army. Distracting them from the middle fight allows Beasty's siege to move on top of the hill. Looking to deactivate the sacred site. Rebalquin, mangonels, royal cannons. Look at that, Jeanne. She's playing around with her food now. She's dragging in the English army. Mantoms are chasing. They just can't keep up. 56 minutes, almost 57 minutes on the clock. Wonder, 8 minutes 22 seconds away. Although that timer is kind of frozen. Oh, there it is. It kind of goes down in batches, I guess. Kind of weird on the overlay, but it is what it is. That's a lot of mangonels. It's just really difficult to push this back, right? Jeanne, she's running around the English base, and well, the English are on the back foot for sure. Divine, there it is. He has to tap out, really. I think we saw it coming for the last minute or two. But what a crazy game of Age of Empires 4. In the end, Beasty with the siege play, with the wonder play. Divine just couldn't match it. I hope you guys enjoyed this castle game on YouTube. If you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.